Hello everyone, myself is Niti Cherian, Assistant Professor at Suresh Gyarvi High University. Today I'm going to discuss about the introduction of anti-hyperlipidemic agents. Okay, so this topic is from Unit 3. Okay, so this we will see today introduction of anti-hyperlipidemic agents. Learning objectives of this topic is this lesson will help the students to understand the mechanism of action and the uses of anti-hyperlipidemic agents, and the exam mainly the lovastatin and the clofebrate. So we will discuss today lovastatin and the clofebrate. These two drugs are from the anti-hyperlipidemic agents. Learning outcomes. After this lesson, students will be able to describe the SAR, mechanism of action, and the uses of anti-hyperlipidemic agents. So first, we have to know what is the condition of hyperlipidemic. Okay, and before that, we have to know that what is atherosclerosis. So atherosclerosis is the build up of fats, cholesterol, and other substances in and on your artery walls. Okay, so atherosclerosis is the condition in which that this fat, cholesterol, and other substances are built up in the artery walls or on the artery walls. I will show the one picture. So this atherosclerosis, that will be clear. This buildup is called plaque. Okay, so look at this picture. So this is the fat. Okay, fat and cholesterol and other substances. Okay, inside the wall of the artery. So this is the normal artery, and this is the here blood flow inside the artery, and this is the normal artery. Okay, but atherosclerotic plaque. Okay, we have told that atherosclerosis is the condition in which the fat, cholesterol, and other substances are built up in or on the arterial wall. Okay, arterial wall, and these substances, okay, these build-up substances are known as plaque. Okay, this is the atherosclerosis condition, and this due to this atherosclerotic plaque, this artery will be narrow. Okay, artery narrowed by plaque, and the blood flow, normal blood flow doesn't happen because of this plaque. So atherosclerosis is the buildup of fats, cholesterol, and other substances in and on the artery walls. This buildup is called as plaque. So we have seen that the plaque can cause your arteries to narrow and blocks the blood flow. Okay, when the plaques form inside the artery, the blood flow will be blocked. So this plaque can cause your arteries to narrow and blocks the blood flow. The plaque can also burst, leading to blood clot inside the artery. Okay, so that plaques, that small that plaques that may be burst inside the artery. When that plaque bursts, what happens? That leads to blood clot. Okay, so atherosclerosis is the buildup of fat, cholesterol, and other substances in and on the artery walls. Okay, and this buildup is known as plaque, and this plaque can cause the arteries to narrow and blocks the blood flow. And this plaque can also burst. Okay, when this plaque bursts, what happens? The blood will be clot there. Okay. Hyperlipidemia means your blood has too many lipid or fats. Okay, hyperlipidemia means the blood has too many lipids or fats such as cholesterol and triglyceride. Okay, so hyperlipidemia means the blood has too much fats such as cholesterol and the triglyceride. One type of the hyperlipidemia, hypercholesterolemia. Okay, one type of the hyperlipidemia is hypercholesterolemia. Okay, hypercholesterolemia means you have too much non-HDL cholesterol and LDL cholesterol in your blood. This HDL cholesterol. I'm not talking about the non-HDL cholesterol. I'm talking about the HDL cholesterol is essential, and this HDL cholesterol is the good cholesterol. But in the condition of hypercholesterolemia, what happens? The non-HDL cholesterol and the LDL cholesterol that will increase in our blood. Okay, and this LDL cholesterol is also known as bad cholesterol. Okay, so one type of the hyperlipidemia is hypercholesterolemia. Okay, hypercholesterolemia, that means too much non-HDL cholesterol and LDL, that is bad cholesterol, is present in the blood, and this condition increases fatty deposits in the arteries and the risk of blockages. Okay, though that atherosclerosis. Okay, so this condition, too much non-HDL cholesterol and too much LDL cholesterol, if that is present in our blood too much, lots of HDL cholesterol, non-HDL cholesterol and the too much LDL cholesterol that is present in the blood, that causes the fatty deposits in the arteries. Okay, that fatty deposits are known as plaque. Okay, and that cause blockage of the artery. So that is why I have mentioned here atherosclerosis. So atherosclerosis is the buildup of fat, cholesterol and other substances in or on artery walls, and this buildup is known as plaques, and this plaque can cause the artery to narrow and block the blood flow, and that plaque may burst, that leads to the blood clot. Same thing here, same thing happens. The high cholesterol, okay, the bad cholesterol and the non-HDL cholesterol will increases in our blood, that is known as hypercholesterolemia. When this hypercholesterolemia occurs, what happens? That condition is known, that condition increases the fatty deposit in the arteries. What is the fatty deposit here? The plaques. Okay, the plaques deposit in the artery, that will increases due to this hypercholesterolemia, and that blocks the artery. Okay, so this is hyperlipidemia condition or hypercholesterolemia condition. Okay, so this picture we have discussed. Anti-hyperlipidemic agents. Okay, so till here we discussed about what is atherosclerosis, what is hyperlipidemic condition. Okay, so we have got almost little bit idea about what is atherosclerosis and what is hyperlipidemic condition. Now from here our topic starts. Okay, anti-hyperlipidemic agent. What the anti-hyperlipidemic agent do? Anti-hyperlipidemic. Okay, against of this hyperlipidemic condition. So anti-hyperlipidemic agents promote reduction of lipid level in the blood. Okay, so anti-hyperlipidemic agents promote reduction of lipid levels in the blood. Okay, that decreases the lipid level in the blood. Some anti-hyperlipidemic agents aim to lower the level of low density lipoprotein, that is LDL, that is again known as bad cholesterol. Okay, so some anti-hyperlipidemic agents, what is their aim? Low the level of LDL and some triglyceride level, and help to raise the high density lipoprotein cholesterol, because HDL is necessary in our body. High density lipoprotein is also known as good cholesterol. This is necessary in our body. If this HDL increases, that doesn't have, means that is good for our health. Okay, if the high density lipoprotein is increases in the blood, that means that is good for health. But the increase in the LDL and the triglyceride level, that means that is bad to our health. Okay, bad for our health. So some anti-hyperlipidemic agents aim is to lower the low density lipoprotein, that means to lower the LDL and the triglyceride level, and help to raise the high density lipoprotein. Okay, so some drugs are meant for lower the LDL, some drugs are meant for lower the triglyceride triglyceride level, and some drugs are meant for increase the HDL level. Okay, increase the HDL level, and this triglyceride and the lipoprotein, both of these are bad for our health, but this HDL is good for our health. Okay, so let's see the classification of this antihyperlipidemic agent. First is HMG-CoA reductase inhibitor, that is known as statins. Okay, HMG-CoA reductase inhibitor, that is known as statins. Examples: lovastatin, simvastatin, pravastatin, atorvastatin. Only we have to learn this lovastatin because only the lovastatin is there in your syllabus. So you have to learn this lovastatin only. Okay, HMG-CoA reductase inhibitor, that is known as statins, and example is lovastatin. Then second is bile acid sequestrant. Okay, so that is known as resins. Okay, bile acid sequestrants, that is known as resins. The examples are cholestyramine and the cholestyramine. Only the cholestyramine we have to learn here. Then next is fibric acid derivatives, that is known as fibrates. Okay, fibric acid derivatives known as fibrate, and the examples clofibrate, benzafibrate, fenofibrate, gemfibrozil. So we have to learn only the clofibrate here. Okay, only the clofibrate is there in your syllabus, so you have to learn only clofibrate. And fourth classification is triglyceride synthesis lipolysis inhibitor. Okay, triglyceride synthesis and the lipolysis inhibitors are the fourth classification, and the example is niconic acid. Niconic acid. So classification, I'm going to repeat it again. HMG-CoA reductase inhibitor, that is known as statins. The examples are lovastatin, simvastatin, pravastatin, atorvastatin. Second is bile acid sequestrant. Bile acid sequestrant, and that is known as resins. Okay, examples are cholestyramine, cholestyramine and the cholestyramine. And the third is fibric acid derivatives, is known as fibrates. Examples: clofibrate, benzafibrate, fenofibrate, and the gemfibrozil. Okay, so and fourth one is triglyceride synthesis and the lipolysis inhibitor. It is the example of this category is niconic acid. Okay, so let's see the HMG-CoA reductase inhibitor, that is known as statins. Statins, also known as HMG-CoA reductase inhibitors, are a class of lipid lowering medication that reduces the illness and the mortality in those who are at high risk of the cardiovascular disease. Okay, so this hyperlipidemic condition is related with the cardiovascular diseases. Okay, because when the artery blocks, obviously the cardiac vascular disease will happen. Okay, so statins is also known as HMG-CoA reductase inhibitors. Statin is also known as HMG-CoA reductase inhibitors. Sorry, and these are the class of the lipid lowering medication that reduces illness. Okay, these are the lipid lowering medications that reduces the illness and mortality in those who are high risk of the cardiovascular diseases. Okay, and they are most common cholesterol lowering drugs. HMG-CoA reductase inhibitors are the most common cholesterol lowering drugs. A substance that blocks an enzyme needed by the body to make cholesterol and lower the amount of the cholesterol in the blood. Okay, so HMG-CoA reductase inhibitors are known as, okay, statin, and this HMG-CoA reductase inhibitors are those substances that blocks the enzyme. Okay, that blocks one enzyme. That enzyme is needed by the body to make the cholesterol and lower the amount of the cholesterol in the blood. Okay, so the substance that reduces that enzyme or block that enzyme and reduces the cholesterol level in the blood is known as statins, or we can say HMG-CoA reductase inhibitor. So HMG-CoA enzyme is needed for needed by the body to make the cholesterol. HMG-CoA enzyme is needed for body to make the cholesterol. And the reductase, this HMG-CoA reductase inhibitor, what they do, they lower this HMG-CoA reductase, sorry, HMG-CoA enzyme in the body, and that prevent the cholesterol formation in the body. And that when the cholesterol synthesis is prevented, at that time the amount of the cholesterol in the blood also decreases. Okay, so this HMG-CoA is also known as hydroxymethyl glutaryl coenzyme. Hydroxymethyl glutaryl coenzyme, a reductase. Okay, this HMG-CoA is hydroxymethyl glutaryl coenzyme, and this enzyme is necessary for making the cholesterol in the body. Okay, and this HMG-CoA reductase inhibitor blocks this enzyme and lower the cholesterol level in the body. So first drug from this HMG-CoA reductase inhibitors, lovastatin. Lovastatin. So look at the structure. Two phenyl ring, CS3. One phenyl ring is attached, one acid, O, C, double bond O. Okay, O, C, double bond O, propane. Okay, and second phenyl is attached with ethyl, and one another ring. Okay, so this is the structure of the lovastatin. So next is mechanism of action. Okay, mechanism of action is lovastatin is in a class of medication called HMG-CoA reductase inhibitors. Okay, so lovastatin is the example of the HMG-CoA reductase inhibitor that is known as statin. Okay, so we can say lovastatin is an example of statins. It works by slowing the production of cholesterol in the body to decrease the amount of cholesterol. So what this do? This lovastatin, what they do, they sorry, they decrease the production of the cholesterol. Okay, decrease the production of the cholesterol by blocking the HMG-CoA enzyme. Okay, and when the production of the cholesterol is decreased, obviously the amount of the cholesterol in the blood decreases. That may build up on the wall of the arteries and block blood flow to the heart, brain, and other parts of the body. So this lovastatin's main mechanism of action is that blocks the HMG-CoA reductase enzyme and lower the cholesterol level. Okay, so this cholesterol level is formed or synthesized inside the body with the help of this HMG-CoA enzyme. Okay, and that cholesterol, okay, after formation of that cholesterol may build up on the wall of the arteries, and what happens? Blocks the blood flow to the heart, brain, and the other part of the body. So lovastatin, what they do? Lovastatin blocks the HMG-CoA enzyme. Okay, lovastatin blocks the HMG-CoA enzyme. When this HMG-CoA enzyme blocked by this lovastatin, the cholesterol synthesis or the cholesterol production is reduced. Okay, so look at this diagram. So acetyl coenzyme, okay, this synthesize the malvonic acid. Okay, malvonic acid in the presence of NADPH. Okay, NADPH, and this malvonic acid is converted to cholesterol. But this HMG-CoA reductase blocks this conversion, acetyl CoA to malvonic acid. This conversion blocked by this HMG-CoA reductase, and the cholesterol will not produced. Okay, so this is the mechanism of action. Okay, so lovastatin is the classification of statins, or we can say HMG-CoA reductase inhibitors, and it works by slowing the production of the cholesterol. Okay, it works by slowing the production of cholesterol, or reduces the production of the cholesterol in the body to decrease the amount of the cholesterol. That cholesterol is responsible for the buildup of the wall of the arteries, and that plaques, okay, that plaque will be built up on the wall of the arteries, and that plaque blocks the blood flow to the heart, brain, and other part of the body. Okay, so this is the mechanism of action of lovastatin. Let's see the uses of the lovastatin. Lovastatin is used along with a proper diet, okay, to help lower the bad cholesterol and the fat such as LDL, triglyceride, and raises the good cholesterol, that is HDL. And it belongs to a group of the drug known as statin, and it works by reducing the amount of the cholesterol made by the liver. Okay, so this lovastatin reduces the cholesterol that made by the liver. Okay, so this lovastatin is used in the treatment of dyslipidemia. Okay, lovastatin is used in the treatment of dyslipidemia and in the prevention of cardiovascular disease. Okay, in the prevention of the cardiovascular disease also this lovastatin will be used. So this lovastatin, what they do, this inhibitor of HMG-CoA reductase enzyme lower the plasma concentration. Okay, this HMG-CoA reductase enzyme, reductase agents lowers the plasma cholesterol level by 3 related mechanisms. Okay, this lowers the plasma cholesterol level by 3 mechanisms. First one is inhibition of the cholesterol. Okay, inhibition of the cholesterol synthesis. Okay, so that is the thing we have discussed. First mechanism is that inhibit the synthesis of the cholesterol. Inhibit the synthesis of the cholesterol. Second is enhancement of the receptor mediate LDL uptake. Okay, then enhance the receptor mediate LDL uptake. Enhancement of the receptor mediate LDL uptake. And third is reduction of the VLDL precursors. Okay, reduction of the VLDL precursors. So HMG-CoA reductase enzyme, they do their work by three mechanisms. Okay, 3 way. First one is cholesterol synthesis reduces. Okay, it reduces the cholesterol synthesis and enhance it enhance the enhancement of the receptor mediate LDL uptake and the reduction of the VLDL precursors. Okay, reduction of the VLDL precursors. HMG-CoA reductase is the rate limiting step in the cholesterol biosynthesis. Okay, so HMG-CoA reductase is the rate limiting step in the cholesterol biosynthesis. Compensatory mechanism result is an enhanced expression of both HMG-CoA reductase and LDL receptors. Okay, so compensatory mechanism results in an enhanced expression of both HMG-CoA reductase and the LDL receptors. The net result of all the effect is slight to moderate decrease in the cholesterol synthesis, significant increase in the receptor mediate LDL uptake, and overall lowering the plasma LDL levels. Okay, so the net result of these things are slight to moderate decrease in the cholesterol synthesis. Only the slight to moderate decrease in the cholesterol synthesis, significant increase in the receptor mediated LDL uptake. Okay, significant increase in receptor mediated LDL uptake and an overall lowering of plasma LDL levels. Okay, overall lowering of plasma LDL levels. So acetyl-CoA that is converted to malveolic acid in the process of NADPH. Okay, and thus that malveolic acid is converted into cholesterol. So this acetyl-CoA to malveolic acid conversion is blocked by this HMG-CoA reductase, and the net result is slight to moderate decrease in the cholesterol synthesis and significant increase in the receptor mediated LDL uptake. Okay, and the use of this lovastatin is used in the treatment of dyslipidemia and the prevention of the cardiovascular disease. In the prevention of the cardiovascular disease also this lovastatin is used. Okay, so next is fibric acid derivatives. Fibric acid derivative. Okay, so the example of the fibric acid derivative is clofibrate. Okay, clofibrate is the example of the fibric acid derivatives. So this is the structure of the clofibrate benzyl ring. Chloride is attached to the para position. O carbon atom. 2-methyl group is attached with this carbon atom. Then C double bond O. Okay, C double bond O, CH2, CS3. Okay, ethyl group. So we can say ethyl. Okay, ethyl 2 ethyl 2 para chlorophenoxy. Ethyl para chlorophenoxy 2-methyl propionate. 2-methyl propionate. Okay, so this is the name of clofibrate. Okay, benzene ring chloride O C CS3 CS3 C double COO CH2 CH3. Okay, so this is the structure of this clofibrate. Okay, so look at this mechanism of action. So this clofibrate may enhance the conversion of very low density lipoprotein, that is VLDL. Okay, enhance the conversion of very low density lipoprotein to low density lipoprotein. Okay, clofibrate enhance the conversion of VLDL to the LDL, decrease the production of hepatic VLDL, inhibit the cholesterol production. Okay, so what this clofibrate do? Enhance the conversion of very low density lipoprotein to low density lipoprotein, means enhance the conversion of VLDL to LDL. And when this VLDL is decreased, okay, when the VLDL is decreased by the conversion of this, so what happened? That inhibit the cholesterol production and increases the fecal excretion of the neutral sterol. Okay, so this is the mechanism of action. So fibric acid derivatives are regarded as broad spectrum lipid lowering drug. Okay, fibric acid derivatives are regarded as broad spectrum lipid lowering drugs. The main action is to decrease the triglyceride level. Okay, so the main action is decrease the triglyceride levels, but they also tend to reduce the density of lipoprotein. Okay, lipoprotein is also reduced, but the main action is to reduce the triglyceride level and help to raise high density lipoprotein, that is HDL. Okay, and fibrate. So the main action of this clofibrate is this fibric acid derivative is known as broad spectrum lipid lowering drug. Broad spectrum lipid lowering drug is this fibric acid derivatives, and the main action is to decrease the triglyceride level. Okay, decrease the triglyceride level, but they also tend to reduce the low density lipoprotein, that is LDL cholesterol also. Okay, so this mainly decrease the triglyceride level, but also decrease the LDL also, and it also help to increase the HDL cholesterol. High density lipoprotein is also increased with this fibric acid derivative. Okay, and the fibrate appears to activate a protein called peroxisome proliferative activator receptors. Okay, that is PPAR alpha. So this fibrate appears to activate, okay, this fibrate appears to activate a protein, that is peroxisome proliferated activated receptor alpha. Peroxisome proliferator activated receptor alpha, that is known as PPAR alpha. So this PPAR alpha activate the enzyme lipoprotein lipase and ultimately decrease the formation of, okay, so this PPAR alpha, what they do, they activate the enzyme lipoprotein lipase activated by this PPAR alpha and ultimately decrease the formation of the very low density lipoprotein, that is VLDL, okay, which is converted into the LDL cholesterol and the triglyceride, and that increases the HDL cholesterol. Okay, so what is the main action of this fibric acid? Fibric acid mainly decreases the triglyceride level, but also decreases the LDL level, and it increases the HDL cholesterol. Okay, it increases the HDL cholesterol, and this fibrate also have the capacity to activate a protein. Okay, this fibrate activate a protein, and that protein's name is peroxisome proliferator activator receptor alpha. Peroxisome proliferator activator receptor alpha, that is known as PPAR alpha. Okay, this PPAR alpha activate the enzyme lipoprotein lipase. Okay, when this PPAR alpha is activated, okay, at that time this PPAR alpha also activate one enzyme that is known as lipoprotein lipase. Okay, and that lipoprotein lipase ultimately result in the decreased formation of the VLDL. Okay, VLDL, and that VLDL is converted to the LDL cholesterol. So the lipoprotein lipase, when this PPAR alpha is activated by this clofibrate drug, after that, that PPAR alpha activate one enzyme that is lipoprotein lipase. Lipoprotein lipase is activated by this PPAR alpha, and net effect is that decrease the formation of the VLDL, and VLDL is converted to the low density protein, that is LDL. Okay, and triglyceride also reduced and increase, and it increases the HDL cholesterol also. Okay, so the uses of this clofibrate is, this is used for primary for the treatment of type 3 hyperlipoproteinemia. Hyperlipoproteinemia, in the treatment of hyperlipoproteinemia, this clofibrate is used. Okay, the clofibrate is used in the treatment of hyperlipoproteinemia. Clofibrate is lipid lowering agent, antilipidemic, used for controlling high cholesterol, that is anti-cholesteremic, and the triglyceride level in the blood. It increases the lipoprotein lipase activity to promote the conversion of VLDL to LDL, thereby reducing the VLDL. Okay, so this main use is, it is used, clofibrate is used in the treatment of hyperlipidemia. Okay, hyperlipidemia or anti-cholesteremic, and the triglyceride level. So this clofibrate, what they do, the fibric acid derivatives are regarded as the broad spectrum of lipid lowering drugs. Okay, broad spectrum of lipid lowering drugs, and the main action is to decrease the triglyceride level. Main action of the clofibrate is to reduce the triglyceride level, and it also reduce the LDL also. Okay, it also reduce the LDL cholesterol level, and it increases the amount of the HDL in the blood. Okay, so it decreases the triglyceride, decreases the LDL, but increase the HDL. Okay, but that HDL is good cholesterol, high density lipoprotein. LDL is low density lipoprotein. VLDL is very light, very low density lipoprotein. VLDL, very low density lipoprotein, and the triglyceride is also not good for our health. So this clofibrate reduces the triglyceride, but also reduces the LDL also. Okay, but increases the HDL level. Okay, it increases the HDL level. Okay, and this fibrate appears to activate one protein, that is PPAR alpha. That PPAR alpha activate one enzyme lipoprotein lipase. Okay, that PPAR alpha that activate one enzyme lipoprotein lipase, and that lipoprotein lipase is responsible for decrease in the VLDL, decrease in the LDL, decrease in the triglyceride, but increases the HDL level. Okay, so this is all about the clofibrate. Okay, let me to explain once again this anti-hyperlipidemic agent. Anti-hyperlipidemic agents are those agents that reduces the cholesterol level in the blood. Okay, so we have seen first the atherosclerosis. Okay, atherosclerosis is the condition characterized by damage to the arteries. Atherosclerosis is the condition that is characterized by damage to the arteries due to the the artery is damaged due to the plaque formation. Okay, due to the flake formation, the arteries are damaged, and that condition is known as atherosclerosis. During this condition, the concentration of the lipid, specifically cholesterol in the plasma, is increased. Okay, concentration of the lipid, mainly the cholesterol level, is high in the blood, which may put the patient at the increased risk for ischemic heart disease. Okay, so the high level of the cholesterol that is that means that which may put the patient at the increased risk of the ischemic heart disease, myocardial infarction, and the cerebral vascular accident. Okay, so lipid lacks water solubility and are transported in the plasma in the form of lipoprotein. Okay, so lipid lacks water solubility and then they are transported in the plasma in the form of lipoprotein. Hyperlipidemia is the condition characterized an increase in the lipid concentration in the plasma. So hyperlipidemia is the condition where the lipid concentration is increased inside in the plasma. Hypercholesteremic or the anti-hyperlipidemic hyper sorry hypo hypocholesterolemic and or anti-hyperlipidemic or lipid lowering agents are those drugs which decreases the concentration of the lipids in the plasma. Okay, anti-hyperlipidemic drugs are those drugs that decreases the concentration of the lipid in the plasma. And the classification of this anti-hyperlipidemic agents are: first one is HMG CoA reductase inhibitor, that is known as statin, and the examples are lovastatin. Okay, and the second is bile acid sequestrant, and that is known as resins, and the fibric acid derivative, that is known as fibrates. And the fourth one is triglyceride synthesis and lipolysis inhibitor. Triglyceride synthesis and lipolysis inhibitor. The example is nicotinic acid. Okay, nicotinic acid, and we have seen first HMG CoA reductase enzyme reductase inhibitor. HMG CoA reductase inhibitor, that is statins. Okay, HMG CoA reductase, or we can say 3-hydroxy 3-methyl glutaryl coenzyme A reductase. HMG CoA reductase full form is 3-hydroxy 3-methyl glutaryl coenzyme A reductase. HMG CoA reductase, that coenzyme A reductase 3-hydroxy 3-methyl glutaryl coenzyme A reductase is the enzyme responsible for the conversion of HMG CoA to malonate. Okay, malonic acid. So this 3-hydroxy 3-methyl enzyme is responsible for the conversion of HMG CoA to malonate. And statins acts by inhibiting HMG CoA reductase reductase. Or this statin acts by inhibiting the HMG CoA reductase. Okay, it inhibits the HMG CoA reductase. And biosynthesis of the cholesterol requires malonic acid as a building block. So malonic acid is necessary for synthesis of the cholesterol, and this malonic production is blocked by this statin, because this HMG CoA reductase enzyme blocks the HMG CoA enzyme. And statin have the same lactone moiety as present in the HMG CoA reductase enzyme. So statin itself binds to the receptor site and cause inhibition of the enzyme. Okay, so the statins have same moiety, same lactone moiety in the HMG CoA reductase enzyme, and that statin itself binds to the receptor site and causes the inhibition of the enzyme. So this is the HMG CoA reductase. HMG CoA enzyme is necessary for the synthesis of or for the production of the cholesterol, and this HMG CoA reductase inhibitor, what the statin, what they do, the statin block the HMG CoA reductase enzyme, and this HMG CoA reductase enzyme is necessary for the production of the malonate, and the malonate is the building block of the synthesis of the cholesterol. Okay, when the malonate is decreased due to the lack of the enzyme, what happens? The cholesterol synthesis also blocked. And the statin also have the same lactone moiety that is present in the HMG CoA reductase enzyme. Okay, HMG CoA reductase enzyme also have the lactone moiety, and the statin also have same lactone moiety. So what the statin do? Statin binds with that receptor and cause the and inhibit the enzyme. Okay, inhibit the enzyme. So that is the thing HMG CoA reductase inhibitor do. Okay, so we have seen the lovastatin. Lovastatin, that what they do, HMG CoA, that inhibit the HMG CoA reductase enzyme. Okay, HMG CoA reductase enzyme, and lower the blood lipid plasma cholesterol level by 3 mechanisms. Okay, plasma cholesterol level is reduced by 3 mechanisms, that is reduce the synthesis of the cholesterol and enhance the enhancement of the receptor mediate LDL uptake, enhance the receptor mediate LDL uptake, and reduce the VLDL precursors, reduce the VLDL precursors. So lovastatin, they do the work in the 3-way, reduces the cholesterol level, enhance the receptor mediate LDL uptake, and reduce the VLDL precursors. So this HMG-CoA reductase is the rate limiting step in the cholesterol biosynthesis. HMG-CoA is the rate limiting step in the cholesterol biosynthesis, and this HMG-CoA reductase enzyme is blocked by statins, because the statin and the HMG-CoA reductase both have the lactone moiety. So this statin bind with the receptor and inhibit the enzyme. When the enzyme is inhibited, the malbonic acid is not formed there. When this malbonic acid is necessary for forming the or synthesis of the cholesterol. So when the malbonic acid is not formed, the cholesterol synthesis also stop there. So this is the lovastatin and the clofibrate. So we have seen HMG-CoA reductase and inhibitors and the fibric acid derivatives, and the HMG-CoA reductase inhibitors example lovastatin, okay, and the fibric acid derivative example is clofibrate. So we have seen both of these drugs, okay, and let's see, this is all about these two classification. Let's see the some MCQs regarding this topic. HMG-CoA reductase inhibitor is also known as statins. So the correct answer is statin. Example of the statins are lovastatin, atorvastatin, pravastatin. Okay, so all three options have statin in their name. So all the above are the correct answer. All the above, D option is the correct answer. Hyperlipidemia is the condition of, hyperlipidemia means high, okay, lipid concentration increases, okay, the concentration of the lipid increases in the plasma, that is known as hyperlipidemia. Then the correct answer is lipid concentration increases in the hyperlipidemia condition. The correct answer is A. Damage of artery, okay, damage of arteries is known as allergy, atherosclerosis, hypertension, none. So atherosclerosis is the condition in which the artery will be damaged, because the plaque is formed in or on the wall of the arteries, and that damage the arteries, okay. So the condition is known as atherosclerosis. Next, how many rings are in clofibrate structure? Okay, so look at the structure, clofibrate, okay. So clofibrate, how many rings are there? Only one ring, okay. So the correct answer is 1. How many rings are present in clofibrate structure? Only one ring is there in the clofibrate structure. So correct answer is option A. So this is all about introduction of hyperlipidemic agent, atherosclerosis. Sorry. And we have seen two classification, okay, HMG-CoA reductase inhibitors as well as fibrates, okay. And in the fibrates we have seen clofibrate example. So this is all about introduction of the anti-hyperlipidemic agents. So I hope everybody understood it very well. So this is the reference. I hope everybody understood it very well. Thank you.